So that raging that's either coming out or not coming out of your butthole could totally be a sign of gut issues. Hey everyone, this is Cast Contents. Thank you so much for coming. This is my new channel. For those of you that have been watching me for a long time, you know that I talk a lot about gut health, about health in general. I've been obsessed with nutrition since I was 14 and lost a very close family member to cancer. So since then, I've probably spent thousands of hours researching various aspects, how mental health, physical health can be affected by what we eat or the supplements that we consume, and other things to maybe a lesser extent, what we put on our skin and different things with that, different things like that. But this is just for entertainment value. I'm not a professional. I'm not trying to come off like a professional. I'm sharing my experiences, and I will give you links to the things that I am referring to a lot of the time, so you can look up the information yourself, you can Google it, you can talk to your doctors, you can do all the things that you need to do. But I know personally, I think all the information I've found that has really changed my life has been from the internet, and the internet guiding me to books, and one book in particular written by an MD. Is she an MD? Anyway, I'll put that link below. When it comes to gut health, I will be making other videos and have made videos on my other channel about the GAPS diet. And that really turned things around for me. I have endometriosis and chronic migraines, and doing the GAPS diet, I reversed them, or the diet reversed them, or I should say lessened them to such an extent that, they don't consume me anymore. It used to be 12 to 16 migraines a month, and now I'm down to 1 or 0 if I take this enzyme that I've been taking. That will be another video. But today I wanted to talk about something I've been looking into lately, and looking into it largely because of an article I read recently against the GAPS diet. And that will be another video. But the article was talking, without going into too much about, as I say, that'll be another video, being against the GAPS diet. The article was very for vegetarian, not necessarily strictly vegetarian diets, but the implementation of vegetarian foods, and maybe perhaps most importantly, what comes along with vegetarian foods, which is fiber. And I believe it's in the fiber. Again, if you are someone who likes really specific information, and because this is always my number one complaint, please feel free to go to another channel, because I do tend to jump around. I'm trying to be better about it, and my information is not always entirely specific. I kind of am a more abstract person, so sometimes getting the exact information right. That's why I always provide links, and I'll always send you to other pages where people, may have a tendency to be more able to be very specific about things. It's not me. It's not the way my brain works. It's never going to work entirely like that, but I'm trying to be better. But yes, so Prevotella, I believe, is the bacteria in the fiber of a lot of plants, beans, legumes, vegetarian foods that we eat. Prevotella has been shown, from what I have read, to be very anti-inflammatory, to prevent perhaps things like arthritis and autoimmune symptoms that go along with autoimmune, to reverse certain things, to promote digestion. On the other hand, it's also been shown to cause things that are inflammatory. So there are two sides to the coin. And again, sometimes it's a matter of what our guts look like to begin with, how a bacteria will react in our gut. From what I understand, from what I read when I did the GAPS diet, is that if our gut has become very pathogenic, in that, from things that we all tend to take and are exposed to just in our day-to-day lives, things like antibiotics and the birth control pill, and things that just tend to generally mess with our gut, maybe pesticides and pollution in the atmosphere, and those things might mess with our gut. So if our gut, from what it says, is extremely messed with, then something that may be a positive bacteria for someone with a healthier gut is actually feeding more of the negative bacteria in a more highly pathogenic gut. The good news is, again, from what I've read, we can change our guts to some extent. And Prevotella, and I believe it's bacteroids, which are found in meats more so, and butter, I believe. I think those two bacteria are the main types of bacteria that can be changed in our body. And I think there's another one, rheumatoid, I'm not pronouncing it right at all, but I believe there is a third that they say is not as well understood as the bacteroids and the Prevotella bacterias. But we can change those. We can change 3, whereas the other bacterias in our gut, they say that they're pretty set. Our immune system is pretty set from age 1. But that's the beauty. That's the beauty of this, I guess, emerging evidence, this emerging research, is that we can change for the better how we feel. It seems, it would seem anecdotally in my position, by what we put into our bodies, and or what we do not put into our bodies. I know, just anecdotally, again, I don't know if I should say this, but I know that I have met a good number of people from India that practice, it's not a vegan diet. It's vegan except for the fact that they consume dairy. They eat a lot of curd, what we call yogurt, and I think unpasteurized dairy when they're in India. And just, again, anecdotally, meeting them, they seem to be very healthy and with this vegetarian high plant food diet. And there could be other reasons for that and everything, and I don't know, and that's just totally observation. But I say that as well because I've eaten a lot of vegetarian food over the past 10, 15 years, but it doesn't seem that my body does well with trying to absolutely be a vegetarian. The times that I've tried, like especially when I was in college and broke and trying to just it felt easier not to touch meat, to buy it, to have to store it and just eat vegetarian foods, I never felt well. It could be because of the underlying health issues that I have. Maybe if those underlying health issues weren't there, I would be able to to do the vegetarian diet, but it's just never seemed to work for me. So I think that that's important for people to start to have a conversation about and think about, is that we don't need to be vegetarians. We might want to be, we might change our mind as things go along, but we don't need to be a vegetarian in order to enjoy a vegetarian diet, to have a vegetarian meal 3 times a week, or to have, before I did this diet, which is a grain-free diet, I ate vegetarian and usually vegan dinners pretty much every day. Dinners with lentils and beans and tofu. Tofu is edamame bean, I realized, sorry. Anyway, but that was great, and that felt like good to me. That felt natural to me. I didn't want to have meat, 2 to 3 times a day. But I don't do that now. So I usually make kind of a vegan dinner, but then I'll add chicken to it because I stopped being able to do the no meat at all. I would get a headache the next morning. I would get a migraine. So for this time, I'm not doing that. But it's such a good thing for us to know, to start to be aware of, not just why you might want to eat a vegetarian diet for other reasons, be it moral reasons, for the planet, for the animals, but also how specifically that vegetarian diet can affect us positively. Because I think so much of the time in North America, we've heard, where will you get your protein from? If you're on a vegetarian diet, where will you get your protein from? I think a much better question with the vegetarian diet is, where will you get your iron from? Because a vegetarian diet, you take in non-heme iron. Heme iron is, I believe, only available from meat animal products. So I think that's a bigger question, because if you are eating a vegetarian diet and you're doing it in a conscious way, so you're using 2 vegetable proteins with each meal, or a full protein like tofu, and you're aware of that, then there's tons of protein in lentils, beans. It's not a question. And then if you are not vegan but vegetarian, and you have lentils, beans, tofu, and then you also add dairy, you're getting lots of protein. Iron should be the bigger question when it comes to having a vegetarian diet. If you were, say, not a vegetarian and then planning on becoming a vegetarian, you should probably ahead of time think about how you're going to get your iron. If you're going to supplement it in a pill or liquid form, whatever the case may be. Because if you do your research and figure out how to properly combine vegetarian foods, then protein is not a problem. But the fiber that we have in vegetarian foods, and this Prevotella that I believe is in the fiber of the foods, Prevotella bacteria, is being shown to be so beneficial for our bodies. And I just find it so interesting. And again, it is something that we can change in our bodies when they study guts. The richest bacteria, healthy bacteria guts, are those from, they say, from people who eat lots of vegetarian food or are strictly vegetarian. So thank you so much for watching today, everyone. This is Cass Contents. I don't know what the name of this channel is going to be yet. It's Cass Bloat, and that was because they say that that's the biggest concern with people, is wanting to get rid of their bloat when it comes to endometriosis. So I just picked that one, but I think I'm probably going to change it. Maybe not. We'll see. But thank you so much for watching today, everyone. And let me know what you think about this in the comments. It's really interesting. information, and let me know what you would like to see about gut stuff, if it's about bloating, if it's about, whatever, and then I can make a video on it. I would love to. So thank you so much, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.